Welcome home, Raiders. Tonight, we catch up on all the things that I missed while I was off in IRL somewhere, lost, as Convert to Raid presents the Battlenet News! Welcome back, everybody. Yes. So good to be back from somewhere where it's very pink. Watch the video, guys. Seriously, my studio is now pink. I don't understand it myself. And I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. So I'm just going to say from my Barbie Playhouse studio, somewhere in the capital city of California now. Today is October 2nd, 2018, and is now 7:12 Pacific. I am so, like, the whole thing is just throwing me off completely. So thanks for joining me from around the Blizzard universe, and hello, my name is Pat Krane. I'm still the same me. I'm just in a different place at a different time, in a different world, apparently. But at least the players are here as well. So let's go to see what these guys are doing. First up, from Merely a Setback, a show about the story of WoW and more, it's Sharku!
Hey, Pat, so you moved to California?
Yeah.
See, I could have sworn you said you were moving to Knoxville.
No.
Because you're the only 10 I see. I love you, Pat.
Here's me making a face in my pink studio. All right.
I think I just got cut from the podcast.
And also from Lagging Balls and Battlenet Sports, which will see its first show probably next week as I'm back. It is Thyst. Hello, Thyst.
Patrick, Tiffany Krane, don't you ever leave me again.
Tiffany. Tiffany.
That's a threat.
I like it.
I will fight you.
Oh boy. Well, I don't want to fight anybody. So
no, because you would lose without question.
Absolutely, I would.
You would go down immediately.
Right. I know that you're very skilled in PvP. I am
yes.
not. I am not gonna argue with you on that.
Player versus Pat.
Player.
That's funny.
That is funny. That is funny. Well, welcome, guys. Yeah. Welcome back, all the Twitch folks, and thanks for joining us tonight as we kind of rekindle the magic that is CTR. As I was away for far too long, moving about the country and doing all these things. This is actually the first. Let's see. I've only had my computers fired up for the last couple of days, and it's very new where I'm at. I mean, like, it feels like I'm beginning podcasting all over again. I feel like I'm podcasting for the first time.
Like a virgin?
Kinda like a.
Whoa.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's weird. That's
weird. How I feel every time I podcast. I'm always like, wow. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's talk about things.
Oh, great.
There might be a reason for that, Shark. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But it is really good to be back, and it's been like, I think it's been like a month. It's been 4 weeks.
Yeah. Can I share something with you?
Yeah. Please.
This is a bit visual, but what I'm doing is holding up a calendar that I started.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
After you left. So the last day of Battlenet News was the 4th, right here.
Right, September 4th. Yeah.
Then the 5th, I wrote down, like, I sort of like cataloged my feelings and my actions. This is fine. A few days later, I'm not fine. Next day, I feel sad. Why, God? On the 9th, 10th, why does Pat hate me?
Sure.
Let's move over to 15th. Reminder to ask Pat when he's coming back.
Right.
What is Pat hiding? Called Pat and hung up. Planning to visit Pat on the 17th. The 18th, cannot visit Pat, too broke, don't know where Tiny Apples is. 20, my life has no meaning. 21, where are you? And I'm so sorry, I cannot sleep, I cannot dream tonight. And then the rest of the month is why is this happening? In red, that was my blood.
Yep.
Wow. That's amazing.
My therapist told me I should share that with you when you got back, just so you'd know.
That's great.
Don't leave again.
I'm not planning on leaving except to go to BlizzCon in about a month. In less than a month, actually. In less than a month, I will be leaving for BlizzCon.
It's happening. It's happening soon.
Yeah.
It's happening, Captain.
I better line up my hotel.
God.
I know it's stupid.
Right.
It's so stupid.
You might as well at this point drive from Sacramento every day because there's
I know.
hotel within there and there.
Pretty much.
Yep. So yeah, as you said, I am in Sacramento, California now, and it's very strange. Like today I called my mom. It's her birthday. So I called my mom to wish her a happy birthday, and she said, "It's very cold and rainy here." And I said, "How cold is it?" And she said it was maybe going to get to 50 degrees, and I started laughing. I didn't mean to laugh, Mom. I'm very, very sorry. I just
rude.
I know, because I woke up and it was already 60 here, and so it was a little cloudy, but then the sun came out.
It's pretty cold. I used to do that to my folks when they call and I was living in LA. They're like, "Oh yeah, how's the weather?" I'm like, "It's kind of cold down here. It's like 65."
Right.
It's like, I need a jacket to go outside. It's pretty, the wind blows.
Yeah. So, it's all part of the deal, but it's definitely good to be back here, and we have a lot to talk about because I missed out on so much stuff.
You really did.
There's quite a bit of things that happened in the past month.
Yeah, well, first let's catch up with you guys. Shark, let's maybe start with you. How is rating been going, and how's the team, and how's the game, and what are you doing?
Rating has been wonderful. We are actually now. One of the things that happened since you were gone is that WoW Progress has opened up their service not just to guilds, but you can get all of your team members on a page, and even if you're in different guilds or however it works, or like for the example CTR, we have many different teams in one guild, and you can just track your team progress instead of your guild. And the Asparagus Initiative, you go to the Airy Peak page, we are number 20.
Hey,
right
nice.
There on the top of the page. We made it to number 20. So we're 5 of 8 heroic. I saw there's a couple other CTR teams who are up there. I think Edamame Enterprise and Fortified.
Yeah.
Also on that list. So
that's awesome.
It's pretty fun.
It is really cool. That was actually something that was started on WoW Progress just before I left. I found out about it, and we've been kind of trying to disseminate that amongst the guildies of CTR, because we understand that, like, especially for those higher level teams, that recruiting is an issue, and you use WoW Progress to recruit, and you want to be known as pushing content, at least. So it's kind of nice to be able to have that, and thank you to WoW Progress for actually doing that, because that was one of the things when we started CTR that was always kind of a bummer. We just had no way of discerning teams.
And I know a lot of teams have thought about even starting their own guild. Like for a minute, I was like, do I want to start an Asparagus Initiative guild? But I don't want to leave CTR because it's so great. The community is just so good, and I don't want, I want to. So now I can have both. Yeah, in a sense. So it's been really, really great. But yeah, we've been doing that. Lots of rating, cool. Lots of crazy stuff.
How is the raid? Because I haven't been around for the entire raid pretty much. I think we had one show after Old Deer started, and then it was gone.
There's a few encounters. There's a couple on the normal and heroic mode. Fetid Devourer is one of the encounters that's kind of just blah. It's sort of tank and spank and be done with it.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? There's so much barf.
There's a lot of barf, but you sidestep and then just do your rotation, and that's the entire.
Oh, I thought that was exciting.
Entire encounter. Yeah. Well, and this is just my personal take on it. But the rest of that's one I don't hate it. It's just not my favorite. But the rest of the encounters are actually really, really cool. I mean, they've really been doing a lot of cool stuff to make these encounters not feel like the same old. WoW knocks it out of the park every year with raids. Is basically what I'm saying. Every single time they make a new raid, it feels new. I have no idea how they do it. Their raid design team is completely ridiculous with how they do that sort of stuff. But yeah, we're having fun over there.
Good.
Now we just need tanks to join our Discord and help us.
What's your progress looking like right now? I mean, I know you're number 20, but you haven't said what your progress is. So.
We're 5 of 8 heroic.
Nice. Congratulations.
So we got 3 more. We got Zul and what's his name? Mithrax. And then Gahoon. to do left up on heroic. And I think we're gonna try mythics like straight out. Like
Look at that. Nice work. Nice work.
We're gonna do it. I think we're gonna do it.
Very cool. Thyst, how about you? What have you been up to? What's been going on over the last month? I mean, I know that you've been journaling a lot.
Just trying to work on my feelings.
But other than that, how's like the gaming side of things going?
Really well. We're 4 of 8 on heroic, so I have cat hair in my mouth. Yeah. And Sharku's right. Like the mechanics in this raid are so new and fresh and interesting and fun. Like the first time we did Zul on normal, we wiped all night on it. But after like the 12th wipe or something like that, we're still having such a good time, because like I don't know, it's just good raiding is when you come at it and it's like a puzzle and like you're trying to figure out like, okay, we've almost got it together. What piece are we missing? Let's go try it again. And you get just a little bit closer and a little bit closer. And sometimes like there's some encounters that just won't budge, and there's some kind of block or like there's some kind of strat that you're not trying that would be a lot easier to do. But with this raid, I don't know. I just found that like everything is so new and unprecedented and there's just so much going on that's different that it's so interesting.
Can I ask you a quick question about Zul?
Yeah.
How big is your raid team?
We're like 12.
Okay, so you're a smaller team. Because I've heard, and did you struggle with Mithrax? Or did you you did? Okay. Because I heard that Zul was really tough for people, but we had a big team and it was really easy, but we took forever on Mithrax trying to catch all.
I know.
Like break people out of the balls and stuff. It was nuts.
Well, that's the problem with Mithrax. But like also like, were you having trouble like seeing like sort of understanding where he was pointing his beam at?
During the phase that was bugged for a little while. And like he turns all dark purple, so you don't know like is that his tail? Is that his arm? I don't know. I'm dead. Yeah, there's a bunch of different strats that have come out to try to help with that. But yeah, that can be a tough boss weekend. But anyway, what is this? Convert to raid? We're talking about raid boss encounters.
Hey, you know what? You know what? I actually was able to defeat Zul today.
Yay!
On LFR. This is the way that I'm going to be experiencing raid content for a little bit here, gang, because I didn't have a chance to. I was in moving hell for a long time before I actually left, so I had zero time for WoW. But finally, like in the last couple of days, I've set aside some time. I geared up, made sure that I got to my eye level that I needed to hit. I can't remember what it is now. But thanks to time walking, did that stuff, got into LFR, started doing that stuff, and got some more loot that way. So. Look at me go, everybody.
Hey, I'm proud of you.
Hooray.
Was this on your Horde or Alliance?
This was on Alliance. On Alliance side.
Oh, I retract that proud.
I'm waiting for another time walking, and then maybe I'll get the Horde side going. Because as I understand it, I might actually want to play my Horde tune coming up here.
Oh, I think you
might. Maybe. I don't know. But it did feel weird.
Sounds like that's something we're going to talk about later on in the show, Pat.
Probably. Foreshadowing. But it was weird getting back and into the raiding thing or playing just in general. Real life has a way of making you forget what it's like to play video games, and I don't ever want to feel that way again. guys.
It's
Good.
a sad thing.
Ugh. Feels gross.
Go purchase a DS or a Switch or something, and just
Yeah, I have a Switch.
attach it to you yourself.
Right.
Never.
Yeah.
But I was driving. I had drove 2,100
yeah.
miles. Ugh.
Well, that's what cruise control is for.
Yes.
Hit that cruise control, pop open the Switch, and
Right.
rock and roll.
It's not self-driving. Just letting you know.
What?
Just letting you know, it's not self-driving. That's not what it means.
Oh.
That's not what it means.
Well,
But
it's a miracle I made it to California when I drove there. Then.
right. But you know what? It is time for. It is time for
Ice cream.
No, I'm gonna return to the Convert to Raid Top 10.
Yay!
Oh, that's better than ice cream.
Better than ice cream. That's what Shark says. Oh, and then I gotta play the. Wait, hold on a sec. I gotta get back to this, and then I gotta play the music. Oh God, I forgot all this stuff. The last time I did a top 10 was like 2 months ago.
Jeez.
I know. I feel bad about it, kinda. Not really. I don't know. Whatever. All right. So this time around for the Convert to Raid Top 10. Hold on a second. That music sounds a little low. All right. We are going to discuss the top 10 things Pat missed while moving. So this is pretty obvious, right? It's a good way to come back.
Yes.
Talk about all the stuff that I missed while I was gone.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go through them. Number 10. Season 15 begins in Diablo. How do you pronounce Horadrim? Is it Horadrim?
Probably like that.
Is it Heradrim?
Heradrim.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. All right.
It's French for bread.
It's French for bread?
No, that's not true.
All right.
I was gonna say that's Pan.
You're Canadian. I don't know. I know. I have zero
That's why
understanding.
you believed me for a second.
Right, exactly. Number 9. Overwatch World Cup Elite 8 includes Finland, China, South Korea, France, UK, Sleepy, Dopey, and Doc. Okay. Number 8 of things I missed while moving. Lots of people paid money to get a free pirate ship. I don't get that.
Yep.
I mean,
We may have to talk about that. All right, number 7. Kerrigan and Brightwing now 10% more creepy in Heroes. That's what I heard.
10%.
Well, they were already pretty creepy. You've heard Brightwing, right?
They're creepy in different ways, but yeah.
Yeah. And over in Overwatch, number 6, Torbjorn now poops molten lava.
Poop is a strong word.
Yeah. So is molten lava. Molten lava is pretty strong too. All right. Number 5 of things I missed while moving. AWC, HGC, WCS, MDI playoffs all set. And some ask, what? What are you talking about?
It's a lot
I
of
know
letters.
most of those.
It's a lot of letters that are all playing off against each other.
That's right. And we'll talk about that coming up here in a minute as well. All right.
And you can get it on VHS or DVD.
Right. Number 4 of things I missed while moving. After Boomsday Project, Hearthstone loses creativity and does something a little retro in the Frozen Throne. They went from Knights of the Frozen Throne to Days of the Frozen Throne.
It's a lot nicer in the daytime.
It is nicer in the daytime. You are correct. All right, number 3. For the virtual ticket rewards, something old replaces 2 possibly new cute things. People are a little irate about it.
What?
We'll talk about that. Well, it has something to do with virtual ticket rewards. What aren't we getting this year?
Right.
In-game stuff. We'll talk about that. It's not good. All right. The number 2 thing that I missed while moving, the number 2, is WoW announces a raid that celebrates faction pride while probably screwing up the race to world first at the same time.
That did happen. I was there.
Yeah. So that's gonna mess with things apparently. All right.
Yeah.
And the number 1 thing I missed while moving. All that forum outrage.
It's probably best.
Yeah. And now I got to get back to what were we talking about? Now I got to get back to that. Okay.
I don't even know.
I'm disappointed that the number one thing you missed while you're moving wasn't me.
Well, we talked while I was gone.
I was going to say he didn't miss you because apparently you kept calling and hanging up on him.
Well, there was twice, a couple times.
I think I registered like 4 or 5 on my phone.
Yeah. He gets a forwarded letter to his new address written in blood. Where are
That'll
you?
arrive in a
Come
few
back.
weeks.
Where are you? Yeah,
I couldn't afford express mail. Plus, blood's really heavy. What?
So good to be back. All right. Well, let's talk.
Extra stamp.
Let's talk a little bit of news. It's time for the news, and we will start with BlizzCon hype, because I think that everybody likes a little BlizzCon hype. We are a month away from BlizzCon. Nobody can contain themselves.
I'm so sorry, Pat. This is the first BlizzCon in 5 years that I will be absent.
Yeah, you're not going to be there
in person.
You're not
No,
gonna be there, and I'm
not. I'm gonna miss you.
Yeah, we're gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss me too. But the cool thing is that I will be here, and so all of us out there that aren't going to be at BlizzCon, I'm going to try to plan some sort of stream event or something. I obviously can't stream the actual shows because you have to pay for the virtual ticket for that, and it breaks ULA and all whatever. But maybe we'll have some little call-in discussions or something. Fans of CTR, fans of merely a setback. I'll try to get information out through the Twitters and the Discords and things like that when we do something like that. Because I'm actually going to have like a little get-together at my house for some of the guys on the raid team that live close by to me. So we'll have a little party, away from BlizzCon for everyone that can't be there live, that your extra little something that you're going to get to do. So that'll be cool. And we're going to have way more fun than you guys there.
Probably. It's maybe not. So a couple of cool things to riff off of what you just said. Number one, if you guys are a part of the CTR Discord, I'm guessing probably the Lagging Balls Discord as well, there should be events going on for those guys that are at home. While you're, watching stuff, make sure to join in on those those different Discords and start a conversation about what's going on, because there will be a lot to talk about. There always is a lot to talk about. So make sure to use those the Discord stuff for CTR and for all the different places that you Discord. I don't know. Yeah. But we all try to make sure that the home players are taken care of. And then for those guys that are actually going to be going to BlizzCon this year, we are working for us on a CTR guild something. We want to do a picture, like a group picture. We want to do like I don't know, some fun things, and just kind of get people.
Is planking still a thing? Can we just get a bunch of pictures of people planking throughout the?
That is not a thing anymore.
That is not a thing anymore. No. But I do kind of want to see people questing about and finding things or meeting up with new people and all kind of, because we're not going to have the CTR party this year, and that's kind of sad. But
very sad, yes.
But things happened, and
you can't have a CTR party without me there to defend my dance title.
I suppose that's true.
I'm pretty sure that's why it all worked out this way.
I suppose that's true.
We'll just have to get both me and the party back next year, and we'll continue with that.
Right.
That's
next year's going to be awesome.
This is going to be awesome.
Next year's going to be great.
I'll be there in spirit.
Let's
you guys FaceTiming the whole time.
Let's talk about this year though, because we have a couple of things. First of all, today the schedule was released for BlizzCon.
Yeah.
So for that, I'll do a little bit of applause on that one. Makes sense. And we get to see kind of the immensity of what is going to be happening throughout BlizzCon. Anybody have any thoughts? I mean, how is this different from years previous, or what is added in? I don't know.
Well, I will say that you have the opening ceremony on the Mythic main stage, right? Yeah. And that's where it always sort of, and they're doing the multiple stage thing for that as well. But the big, giant Mythic arena, and usually after that ceremony, you have your big thing that you're talking about, whatever your big reveal. This year, scheduled right after the Mythic main stage, is Diablo What's Next.
What?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
something. So whatever the big BlizzCon news, my prediction, and I think it's fairly obvious by the schedule, it's going to be something about Diablo. I don't know what it is. I'm kind of hoping for Diablo 4.
Who isn't?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's whatever. I thought it was coming a couple years ago when we got those dice, right? The BlizzCon dice.
Yeah.
And they had the big but yeah.
With D4, we're going to get that Netflix series. We're going to get something cool, like an update on the Switch thing. There's probably going to be like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
but it's good.
You guys noticed that when the Switch Diablo goes live, right?
Yeah, it goes live
November 2nd.
Yeah, November 2nd.
The day of BlizzCon.
Right.
Oh, God.
I think we mentioned that the last show, which was a month ago. But, I think we mentioned that, and it was like, is that like timing or what, guys? It's just in time for BlizzCon.
I need to buy a Switch. But that's good though, because there was nothing last year for Diablo, and it's good that they're up first and probably going to be the most exciting announcement.
But if okay, so I have a question for you. So if Diablo's What's Next panel includes Diablo 4, how many people are going to be rushing to get Diablo 3 on the Switch?
Everybody.
Still me. Yeah.
Because it's cool.
Still me.
That's cool.
Still me.
I think they're going to, and I think this is almost one of those things, and I hope it works out for Blizzard, but it's almost like a trial. Like, if Diablo 3 is going to work, because Diablo 4 is going to be, even if they get an announcement, it's going to be at least a year away from beta. You know what I mean? Like, this is something that's going to, remember how long it took for Overwatch to come out after they announced it? It was like 2 years before it was live. So, that's something that, I feel like they're going to be like, if Diablo 3 works on the Switch and it does everything we want it to do, and it seems like a good endeavor, then that's just going to be almost beta testing for when Diablo 4 comes out. It's going to be released on everything, console, Switch, computer, whatever.
You're so right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking. And I wouldn't be surprised, especially since everybody at BlizzCon already has 1 or 2 copies of Diablo already, that there's not some sort of, demo pass or something that they're gonna give away. That'll be part of their big reveal. Like, hey, if you have a Switch, now you can play Diablo on it if you're here.
Oh, that would be nice. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Come on.
It probably won't, but I think it would be a good idea because, everybody there already owns the game anyway.
Sure. Maybe they do.
I don't know.
Stop squashing our dreams, Pat. Jeez.
Right, I know.
So it's kind of weird because we do have Diablo, the What's Next panel, and then we have Overwatch, and then we have Hearthstone, and then we have World of Warcraft. So World of Warcraft is... Do you read this as World of Warcraft is taking a little bit of a backseat to these other games, or is it just because we just started with this expansion and
yeah, no, that's totally it. And we got like a ton of information from that live update the other week, just about like the new raids and all the new stuff that's coming. And I would have expected at least the new raid announcements to be like BlizzCon worthy, So are they just going to show us like some stuff from what they already told us? Like, I don't know. Cause you're right. Like, we just started BFA and things are just ramping up, and I don't know. They've already given us so much information about what's coming up that, again, you all know I'm terrible at predictions, but I think you're totally right.
All right. Anything else on the schedules that you guys wanted to note? I see that we have a couple of podcasts again this year. We have the Pylon Show, which is actually it's with Artosis and I can't remember now. But that's a StarCraft podcast, and then we also have Geek and Sundry live on stage. So they'll be doing something. I don't know what, but
there's lots of music related panels this year, which is interesting. I'm really interested in Inside Blizzard, Backstage at Blizzard. There was something else, I think, the next day that was kind of like that.
There's a bunch of like artists at work. There's a
cinematic panel.
There's also a voice panel that features the WoW actors from both the Alliance and the Horde.
Yes,
kind of
that's
facing
gonna
off
be cool
together. So that'll be cool. That's kind of an added bonus to the normal voice panel, which is always kind of amazing.
Absolutely.
So there's that. And then you take a look and you look at all the different esports that are going on. We don't have anything necessarily new here to talk about because it's still Overwatch World Cup, HGC Finals. That's Heroes, guys. For those that don't know, WoW Arena, which is the AWC. Yeah. We have StarCraft 2, and what else? Is that everything?
No, and the MDI. So we've got the AWC on the first day and the MDI on the second day. And I love that there's 2 World of Warcraft esports this year. I'm so excited. Oh my God, the MDI is going to be so great.
It'll be good. So, and those are going to be fantastic. And if you're going to BlizzCon, you will definitely want to go into one of those. There's so much stuff going on. Just, pick a game and go.
Even if you're not into esports, you need to pick whichever game you think you could get most into watching and go in, because it's just a really surreal event.
Or just go with your friends. I mean, the energy is insane.
Right. Like whatever game that you like playing, go and find that game's esport.
Yeah.
Right. Unless I guess Diablo doesn't have one, but
you'll make friends. People are screaming. They're throwing things. Everything's it's just like watching esports with people is amazing. And as somebody who's like never really been into traditional sports or T-sports, like I never really understood the connection to like why are you going to the stadium to look at players very, very far away, and watch them do stupid, like I never got it. But now I get it, like if you even if you don't have a team or you don't know the players or anything, if you just like the game, like Sharku said, you're going to love it.
I would even say this, because this has worked for me in the past. Like I've gone in basically by myself, or whoever I was with had no idea what was going on. Go and find somebody, sit down next to them and just say, hey, I really don't follow this esport. Can you tell me what's going on? Because I want to get excited about it. They will. You will have no life at that point.
Right.
Like they will be that happy. They'll be like, oh yeah, so what's going to happen here is da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and you really
want to watch this guy because he's really good at this, especially, and it's going to go like this.
Right. Like nobody, like you will have just made a friend and maybe gotten yourself a free beer at the Hilton bar later. Like,
hey, look at that.
It's honestly something I would definitely recommend everybody do, because it's a really fun way to meet, like, especially for those of us that are kind of like really nervous about talking to people. Try me. I challenge you. Go and do that for somebody.
Not at BlizzCon, man.
You'll enjoy it.
Yep.
You'll enjoy it.
Yep.
And apologies in advance to somebody who sits next to me during the MDI.
Right. Sorry. and for those guys that are going to be at home, it'll still be exciting and stuff like that. And again, I would encourage you to go into whatever Discord it is and find your people and make sure that you're chatting about it, because it's exciting stuff. It's kind of fun. And after almost a year of doing the Battlenet Sports show, I've learned a lot more about the teams and the players and the stories that are going on, as well as kind of getting to know these different esports a little bit more. And it has been kind of a thrill ride for me. I can't speak, but it has been kind of wonderful and eye-opening. As far as all these different esports go. So it's been a lot of fun for me. I can't wait. It's going to be great. Also, I can't wait for the goodie bag. The BlizzCon goodie bag is out. You can actually, if you, for virtual ticket holders, can buy it now for $10 off for $45. And, I don't know. Is there there's the World of Warcraft faction keychain thing that's like spins, right? And then what else is there?
There's an Overwatch coin, a StarCraft pin, a book, a Diablo vinyl figure.
So
that's it.
Maybe I'll be controversial here.
Yeah,
I can wait for the goodie bag. I'm not very excited about the goodie bag this year. And I mean, it's okay, because BlizzCon shouldn't be about the goodie bag, but especially if they, there's not some of the cool coolest stuff that they have given out in the goodie bags before are things that are useful. For example, the backpack and the messenger bag.
I love those. Those were goodie bags in and
they're
of
accessories.
themselves.
Even like a hoodie or something, like something you can wear to be like, look at how much of a nerd I am, or those are things that I think better for me. Now, I haven't seen the book, and that might be cooler than I think it is.
I think it will be, because it's about celebrating community. It's not necessarily about a particular game. So I think
that's great. So maybe it'll be but I'll just say, and I'm not discouraging anybody from anything, but I know from me looking at it, I'm going there. If money's tight for me and I got to spend, $50 to get this thing, I might skip this year.
Right.
I'll still get the virtual ticket just so I can get all the, be involved in all the live stuff.
Yeah.
But
and I think
all the panels, but yeah, I don't know if I'll spend the extra money on the.
And that's kind of the other thing that I wanted to talk about too. Is I wanted to talk about the virtual ticket a little bit too. So virtual ticket, you get a bunch of in-game stuff, and not to mention you get all of the live panels, and you can watch them for a few weeks. I can't remember exactly how long it goes on for, but it's for a while where you can kind of review them or whatever.
Like a month at least, eh?
Something like that. And that includes the esports too, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, it does.
So that's good. Plus you get all the pre-BlizzCon stuff too. So all the new content that they're putting out right now which is pretty cool as well. So.
And I want to be clear, I think the esports stuff you can watch live without the ticket, but all the panels you need to have the ticket. I might not be 100% on that, but I think that's the way they've done it in the past.
I know
so unless they changed that.
I know that you can watch the opening panel.
Opening ceremonies for free.
Yeah,
right.
And then I think they Twitch stream the esports.
Okay. All right.
I believe
that makes sense.
That is true. Now, once again, we should have someone fact check that. As you're listening, don't take my word.
Is there a fact checker in Twitch right now? Can we get that, please? That would be great.
But the virtual ticket also not only the esports, but it's the panels are really what you're buying, I think, with the virtual ticket. And that's the stuff that's the most interesting to me, because that isn't going to be released outside of the virtual ticket.
Right.
You can watch esports every day, and I know that these are the championships and they're cool and important, but yeah, I'm really into those. That panel stuff is going to be really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
Especially whatever they're talking about Diablo. But you also get in-game loot.
Yes.
As well.
And people are kind of I think some people are really happy and some people are kind of miffed by some of this stuff.
So
people
right now,
are two minds of things. What?
Right.
I don't know. I right now first thing you get is you get a $10 discount on the goodie bag.
Right.
Which I think they might need to sell goodie bags. Sorry.
Well,
I like the goodie bag this year.
You're allowed to have your opinion.
That was both inclusive. Shark that was both inclusive and dismissive at the same time. That was amazing. That was so great.
It was nice and shitty all at the same time. I don't know what to do. I kind of feel mean. I'm sorry. Whatever, so I have some Canadian ancestor somewhere that's being like, you need to say sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
So sorry.
Right.
But yeah, you're getting a Sombra skin that looks like Vala is one of the things that you're getting for the virtual ticket, which I think it's awesome. And it's also definitely something is going to be it's just pointing at Diablo being a big thing this year.
Right.
Some cool, here's the storm items. It looks like maybe a mount and a banner and icon. And then Warcraft things to wear on your back, but no mount.
Right. There's no pet and there's no mount this year, and that's kind of what
people are sad about.
Yeah, that's what people are a little sad about, and they're like, I don't know if. And for some people, they're like, I don't even know if I want virtual ticket now because there's no.
If you don't get a mount out
and no pet. I mean, I'm not saying that this is a great number of people or anything like that, but they look at that stuff and they're like, well, why don't I get anything cute and fluffy, or kind of gross? Who knows what it's going to be?
Especially since they raised the price this year, so you think you're going to get something more.
But what
instead it feels like you're getting something less because you don't have a pet in a mount.
Right, but what they did include that nobody was expecting, really. I don't think anybody. I didn't know of anybody expecting this. Of course, I haven't talked to a lot of people in the last month, so I'm not sure exactly where people stand on this.
That's true.
But there will be for all virtual ticket holders and everybody going to BlizzCon, you will get a classic WoW demo.
Yes.
Which is pretty insane, I think. That's pretty cool. So you can play old WoW, but you don't get any new pets or mounts.
Right. So I think that's kind of now the question is going to be if my demo character is going to translate over to the live game when I decide to buy that.
Right.
I really, really hope so, because you know how long it takes to level up in vanilla.
Oof.
You know, even if I get like to level 30 and then they're like, okay, now you can buy the new game. I'm like, I don't even want to play the new game. I don't want to do all that again.
I'm not killing hogs forever again. I'm not doing it.
Go to the forest and kill boars.
Yeah.
I think it's just a taste. I really don't think anything's going to transfer over. I think it's just a taste. I think there's just going to be enough.
Maybe even like the first 10 levels or something.
Yeah.
First 20 or something like that.
Yeah. You get like one zone.
The first 2.
What I am excited about it, because that's something that I've been really interested in, and Blizzard has been basically silent on what WoW Classic is going to be like. They've said little things here and there. They've talked about, different patches and that they're going to be trying to, sort of leak some stuff out there to see how the community felt, but they really haven't said much at all about or WoW Classic,
sure,
which I'm assuming is going to be something they discuss in at least some detail during the opening ceremony.
They are, or there's a panel about it, I think, on the second day.
There's a classic panel too, which they didn't even have a WoW Classic panel last year when they announced it.
Well,
exactly.
why would they? They announced it and they said we think we might be able to do it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We're doing this as soon as we can. Right. Was their announcement.
So Thyst, I have a question for you.
What's up, Pat?
So for those guys that do you think that virtual ticket sales will go up because of WoW Classic, or will they be like, oh no, this is just something free that we get?
I think they will absolutely go up. We saw the backlash when WoW said that they didn't want to do Classic, and it was a lot of people who currently played WoW and even more people who stopped playing WoW, Sure. So I think, if people who are already indulging in Blizzard games want this so badly, then people who aren't playing any Blizzard games or WoW or anything like that right now will see that they can try out this demo, sort of get a taste of what's to come, and I don't know, just sort of realize that, if you buy this ticket, not only can you try out the demo, but you can potentially watch a panel about it if you care about it and what's coming up in WoW, and then maybe, sort of branch out and see what's going on in the other games, and then,
sure,
get some cool stuff in the games and maybe come back to WoW, maybe start playing Overwatch. I think it's great. And I think that, I think they will go up. Because they said that they were trying to make the virtual ticket like way more inclusive this year too. So I don't know. I know people are upset that they didn't get a WoW mount and stuff, but all things considered, I think this is probably one of the best year, like if not the best year for virtual ticket.
Sure. Well, and it'll be it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens, because virtual ticket is not cheap by any means, and if they buy it just because of a classic WoW demo, that means that that classic WoW is already starting to make like a lot of money, and just like just off of a demo, which means that it can fund itself, which is weird in a way.
Yeah, but that's it's good for Liz.
Let me make some real quick clarifications. I know we've been talking about this for about 5,000 years, but the opening ceremony and the esports are free without the virtual ticket.
Look at that.
So that is confirmed.
Yay.
However, what you're getting with the virtual ticket is the Warcraft Classic at-home BlizzCon demo, which what I'm assuming after everything I've read, that means we'll be able, and it says with a little asterisk, limited availability only. So I'm guessing during BlizzCon, you get to play the WoW Classic demo without waiting in line.
Right. It's through like the 8th or something like that. So it's a short run demo and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So it's not something that we get to keep and hold on to forever.
No.
Right.
Which
so
is
that clarified that for me.
Which is,
but then also with the virtual ticket, you're getting the pre-show video series, live coverage, community night, closing night,
all the interviews and all that kind of stuff as well. And there's actually a lot of stuff that goes on in there.
And something called Build a Panel, which I don't know exactly what that is, but apparently you get to vote on like who you want to hear from throughout BlizzCon, and then whoever gets the most votes, like we all want to hear from Ian Hazzikostas, which obviously is going to be who they want to hear a panel from.
Right.
I wouldn't mind that.
I know.
Okay. That's the one Darren DePaul's hosting, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I think possibly, but there it is. So
we'll talk
BlizzCon.
more about this stuff as we approach BlizzCon. Right now, I have a lot of questions about World of Warcraft, so we're going to go there.
A clever strategy.
Thank you. Apparently, so this is going to be a lot of catch up for me, and I apologize in advance because I don't really know all of these things, and so I need to know. And maybe some people out there, they only listen to CTR, which is,
that's a bad idea.
It's totally understandable.
You can just call me,
everybody else is garbage. No, it's
I'm
just kidding. But
sugary tomato juice, because I'm going to be your ketchup pet.
Oh, stop! I'm leaving this.
I don't. Yeah, I feel like I should leave. So
good night.
So we have 8.1 was announced as a thing, and along with that were a couple of raids, which is awesome. I love hearing about this stuff, and we heard about this. What was it? A week ago, Thursday,
something like that.
I think almost 2 weeks ago now. So that's really cool. Siege of Zuldazar, which is going to be faction based. So you'll start at different points if you're Horde or Alliance, and then you'll beat up on different bosses until you reach a point where you pass each other. And I don't understand exactly how that's going to work, but we'll figure it out. And then Crucible of Storms, which is going to be it's like a mini raid with
2 bosses
with like a Naga theme, right?
Queen of Shire themed.
Yep, we're gonna have.
And there's gonna be some lead up content to that.
Well, and that's kind of the cool stuff. So, along with this comes a bunch of new, like questing content, and that's gonna be probably pretty brilliant. I'm guessing.
Yeah. More world quests.
Yeah.
New Warfront.
Yeah. So let me ask. Let me ask Thyst, this, as a Horde player, are you excited to have Jaina as a raid boss?
She's going down. I told you at the beginning, no, like go back a few BNNs. Like I said, I'll take on Jaina. I don't care. I'm going to take her down. And now we're both frost mages. So like, what's up?
Flying ship of crap. I'm going to bring her flying ship down, and I'm going to beat her up.
Daughter of the Sea, daughter at the bottom of the sea, courtesy of Thyst. What's up, Jaina?
Wow.
How's it going? Who's the better mage? Me, baby. That's
You're
right.
You're going to visit Davy Jones' locker.
I am 100% certain Jaina is the better mage. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't think so.
One-on-one?
Listen, she's tilt 24/7, okay? You have to control that tilt. You have to get rid of the salt, my friend, if you want to engage in PvP. Or E.
I was going to say, if you want to talk about tilt 24/7, there's a certain war chief that comes to mind.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I'm just saying. She's not a mage, though. I'm just saying. With mages, you gotta relax.
Professor Sharku lesson on how to shut up hordes.
And it's also interesting. So for the Alliance side, the end boss of at least the initial 6 bosses is gonna be King Rastakhan. And that should be pretty good as well. And then after that, you get to see the other side, but you get to see the other side as the other faction. So we've done this before, though, right? Where we've changed into. Well, yeah, we have. We've done instances where we've changed over into the other faction.
Well, like going back in time stuff. Where you've had to turn into like if you're a Tauren and all of a sudden you're a night elf and you hate yourself.
Right.
Yeah, you're gross.
For what was that? The Illidan. It was the old Illidan. Instance.
And then the other one.
I can't remember exactly.
The one where you have to, the one where you get to fight a Shara at the end.
Yeah, maybe it'll be like that.
But it was Ashara before she was Ashara.
I really don't want to get transformed into a human, though.
That's the thing. I feel like it's going to be something like that. However, what I really want it to be, like, if we're playing the Horde side,
Yeah.
like if I'm the Alliance playing the Horde side, I want it to be like sort of kind of completely random as to what race I get. So there's a chance that I could be a Tauren mage, which is something that the game needs to have anyway.
So I remember, there was a thing in ICC where we went with Arthas and did the culling of Stratham, right? That was one of the things where we had to be human or whatever. And so I was always the bald dude with the mustache. Actually, he wasn't all bald. He had the ring of fire, and then it was just the Friar Tuck, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then the mustache and
that's a skullet.
And skullet. You're right. That was a skullet.
Very nice.
Yeah. I just remember how horrible my transmog looks on like a human body.
Yeah, it was not great. It was not great. I did not like that. But I got the same guy every time. It's probably going to be like that.
Now, and although we've done that before, we have never done a raid that is different for the two factions. The closest they've got to that was Siege of Orgrimmar, where there was a different hallway you could skip the trash through, basically, depending on what class you were. But all the encounters were exactly the same. This is something that they've never done before. I remember talking about this. I don't know if it was on this show or Setback. I think it was on Setback. But about how cool it would be if they did something like this where the raid, and then I remember, being like, but they're never going to do that.
I think it was actually on this show. I think it was.
Might have been.
I think it was. Anyway.
But then they did it. And I am so excited that it's happening. I think it's going to be really good. There is the question of what the world race is going to look like, the world first race.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be, because you've got different bosses at different times, and are they going to count the race being over after you kill your first 6 bosses, or after, I guess it would have to be after you kill all 9, and then everything is, but now there's different strategies, and so some people are going to, and so it's going to be, but I mean, honestly, who cares?
Wow. No, nobody cares. I don't care. I just want to get in there and do it.
I care more about this new thing that they're trying, this something that they've never done before, honestly, and the way it's going to tell the story.
Yeah.
That it's going to be game changing, I think, for the storytelling aspect of this game.
Right.
And it's only one raid, and it's not even like the last raid, which is really the only one that people care about when it's
9 freaking bosses.
So yeah, I'm totally down.
Me too.
I'm really excited about it.
It's pretty awesome. And so we've got a couple of different raids coming up. We've got incursions, which is kind of like the invasions from Legion, kind of like that, except for it's going to be the opposite faction coming in and attacking certain places. And I'm guessing, do you think they'll do it both ways, so that it'll be like if you're of that faction that's attacking the area, you have to go help them, and if you are of the opposite faction, you have to go and fight them?
I think of the 6 zones, it will pick a zone, and if it is, let's say, Nazmir, if you're the Horde, you'll be going to defend it, and if you're the Alliance, you'll be going to attack it.
All right, cool.
But it'll be that one zone where all of those special world quests are, which will be very cool in War mode. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Right. In War mode, that would be insane.
That's going to be crazy times.
That would be great world PvP. Can't wait to hear what you guys think of it.
Lots of bounties for this.
Yeah.
So yeah. So there's that, which will be really cool. New Warfront, Dark Shore. I think we knew that was coming.
I didn't. I mean, it makes sense. But
they said they were. I didn't know exactly what it was, but they said that they were going to put more Warfronts out there, and we've been thinking about different places to put them. Dark Shore was definitely on the list for us, but I don't know. I'm still not sold on Warfronts. I hope they do a better job.
I love them.
So I wasn't able to play through an entire cycle of Warfronts. So what's the deal there, Shark? Why don't you like?
I'm not a huge fan. First of all, it seemed this first particular Warfront, a lot of it had to do with like from a lore base for me. I know I'm a big nerd, but I am continually like, why am I here? Why are we doing this? Why is the Horde even attacking this area? Because it doesn't even seem that strategically important. And they don't really tell that story well. it's just sort of like, oh, there's a horde base and here they come, go do your stuff. And the war generals are yelling at each other about, throughout the scenario. And I guess but even like the pre-quests, because when you hold the area, you don't go through the scenario of the Warfront. You can just fly to Arathi and you can go and do little quests that give you extra resources, or they're almost like extra world quests, but it only happens once while you hold the area.
Right.
But all of those quests are just like old Arathi quests, like, hey, go over there to those fire elementals and kill 20 of them.
I do like how they changed the zone. I mean, I think that was really cool.
Oh, updating the zone, yeah, that looked really, really cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like they could have, in that quest design, been like, hey, we've seen Horde scouts over here because they're trying to infiltrate our... Like, that would make a lot more sense than go and slay those elementals like you did.
I don't know what you're talking about. Come on. Come on.
I don't know. But that's one of the big things for me. And I just felt like, I don't know, it's the whole thing is a little blah for me personally. Okay. And I know a lot of other people feel the same way. The gameplay's okay, but it's not challenging. You could honestly sit in the castle and AFK and probably win.
Okay.
So it's just kind of blah.
So let me go over to flip over to the other side here, because Thyst, you said you love them.
Yeah, I do.
Why do you love them?
Because it makes me feel like I'm part of the horde. I love that faction pride, that faction immersion.
Right.
I like going, I like mining stuff, I like helping build stuff. It reminds me of W3. Like, it's so much fun, and just like the banter between like the generals like talking smack to each other. I love it. It's so great. And then just like infiltrating like the keep and everything, and just blowing up alliance stuff and just griefing them. I mean, I know they're not real, but it feels real, and it's just I love it. I don't know. I love it. It's just,
you're all about the faction pride and all that kind of stuff. And Shark thinks that the gameplay might be a little weak, but it's supposed to be. I think that's kind of what it's supposed to do, though, Shark. I think it's supposed to be something else to do while you're thinking of it. I mean, it's if you're looking for another thing to do, here's another thing to do.
I can think of a lot more things, which is basically everything else in the game that I would want to do before a Warfront.
Wow.
Except for island excursion, the island adventure, whatever that is. That's the only thing that I like. Yeah, the expeditions. That's the only thing I like less than Warfronts.
All right.
All right.
But that doesn't mean I'm not enjoying playing the game. I want to make sure that perfectly clear. I still think that this is a good expansion, and I'm having a lot of fun.
Sure.
I have my problems with it, and they knocked it completely out of the park with Legion, so it's really hard to compare this to that.
Cool.
But yeah, it's just, I hope they do. I hope it gets better. That's really what I want.
I kind of liken this whole thing to pet battles or any of the other like mini games that they've included in the game, where it's just like, hey, you want something else to do? Well, here's something else to do. Here's a thing.
Exactly.
And it gives good loot, and your alts will appreciate it if nothing else. And here you go. It's a great way to get
exactly. You hit the nail on the head, Pat.
Yeah.
There's so much cool stuff that the WoW team has put in, like, since Legion, that's just like, if you miss it, oh well, it's not life changing, it's not game breaking or whatever, but
right.
It almost seems like people expect every little thing to mean everything and to be like completely worthy of their time, and like WoW's not like that. There are so many things that you can like put on the back burner and do whenever you feel like it or whenever you're bored, and I think the more of those things the better, because then you have less people complaining about where's the new content and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude,
That's
check your
true.
calendar. There's stuff coming up, and like, yeah, you don't have to like everything. There's stuff I don't like even. I can't think of anything right now, but, so I won't do it, like, I don't, whatever. I mean, it's not,
right.
Like, even if I didn't like Warfronts, I'd do it at least once because you get a 370 piece of gear out of it.
Sure.
And I did, and I have, and I will continue to, because that's really solid gear.
That's awesome.
Totally.
That's awesome.
But Mythic Plus gives you that gear as well if you can grind it up. So
right.
True.
Right.
And it's a lot easier. But anyway, I totally agree with what this is saying as well. It's not bad content. I just think,
well,
in my personal opinion, it could be better content.
Sure.
But we'll see what they have coming for us. I'm open-minded, and I think they're doing a great job with this expansion so far. So
I think you have to start somewhere, and I think that they had a strong start with it. Maybe not a fully fully baked thing, especially you don't know exactly how people are going to respond to it all the time either. So it'll be time to take a look and see what's going on, and hopefully Darkshore will be an improvement on Arathi, and so we can hope for that for sure. One of the things that Shark, I know that you're going to love, and we're not going to talk about.
Yeah, I know. We've already had this conversation.
Is that with 8.1, we talked about it before the show, with all of this stuff about 8.1, now they're starting to data mine what is actually happening. And
the broadcast text for the story, and there are spoilers.
OMG.
There are so many spoilers, guys. You have to add syllables to the word. There are spoilers.
Spoilers.
That's too many.
And I don't know. There are a lot of spoilers. And if you've been reading places like MMO Champion or Wowhead or whatever, you've been reading some of this stuff about these different characters and how they interact with each other and outcomes from the raid that's coming up, maybe. Boy,
I don't like spoilers.
There's a lot of spoilers.
And if you don't like spoilers, we're not going to talk about it on this show, so you don't have to worry about it. No. But do not go towards the internet at all, ever. But like, if you're used to reading MMO Champion or Wowhead and all these things, like they will spoil the crap. If you see anything that says 8.1, run. Don't read it, because these are huge. These spoilers are so big. I even hesitated on whether or not I wanted to talk about them on my spoiler show.
Right.
Whoa.
Like there's some really huge things that are happening that are super, super cool. But if you don't want to know about it, you need to make sure that you try extra hard to be avoiding things right now.
I'm sure that spoiler show is probably about 3 or 4 hours, because there was so much stuff. I mean, on the MMO Champion front page, when they first released all of it, it took up the entire page. Because
we only got like halfway through what we wanted to talk about. And it was a 2-hour show.
Right. And so so there are spoilers galore, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say about it. I started reading it, and then I had to stop because I'm like, no, I got to make sure my computers work for tonight.
Which took all day.
It took all day. It took 3 days. 3 to put this stuff together. I know. And I was still like scrambling for parts at the end. But we've cobbled it together for tonight in my pink studio that has no sound reinforcement, so all I can hear is like sound slapping off the walls.
What's slapping off your walls?
Words.
Sound.
Yeah. It's just echo. That's all I can hear. Okay. So one of the things, and I don't want to get into it tonight, but we'll have to talk about it sometime.
I know.
Because already we've got such a long show.
Yeah.
I want to get... So there's been this thing about Azerite armor going around, especially this week.
Geez.
I know.
Do we have to?
Especially this week. I won't care because I'm such a casual right now that I don't have time to care about this stuff. Because Azerite armor, it's cool, it's different, and if you don't care about what the actual bonuses are for Azerite armor, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
you'll be just fine if you don't care about that stuff at all. But for mythic players and for competitive players of all kinds, Azerite armor is starting to show some issues.
Can we share like a 1 or 2 sentence?
Yeah, sure.
Feelings about this, because you brought it up. Okay, so here we go.
Yeah. What's yours?
Here we go. Not a fan of Azerite armor.
Okay.
Personally, this is how they fix it. Put the traits and stuff on your necklace, so as you grow your necklace, you can just pick the traits as you go, and bring the tier system back. There you go. That's my very brief feeling on it. And I think a lot of people feel the same way, which is why the system just isn't working so far yet. Yeah. They're not going to change it because they need to commit to the choice that they made for Azerite armor. So we're going to be stuck with it for the whole expansion, I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
Hopefully they can find fixes, but yeah, I think that, and I'm fine with that. But I think in the future, maybe they should learn from.
Well,
But I don't know.
They will learn from. They've always learned from.
They always do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Legendaries aren't in the game anymore, so still better than legendaries. That's the last thing. Okay.
So, Thyst,
Yeah.
what are your? Do you have an opinion on this or no?
No,
Okay.
my opinion is it's not a big enough a deal to, I don't know, break the internet over and be really mean to people.
Right.
Really, really, really mean to people.
No, I
and
would
ruin
completely
stuff.
agree with that, by the way.
I know you would, yeah.
There is
Yeah.
never any reason to be mean to people.
Never.
There's never any reason to be. Hey, by the way, if you are yelling at devs online or whatever, stop.
Yeah.
Unplug.
I don't want to be friends with people who do that.
Unplug for like a month. I've done it. I'm not saying I liked it a lot, but I did it for a while.
Friendship over.
And
Good
now
night.
Or sew your mouth shut and
now
your fingers. You can do that too.
I mean, it's just there's no reason to do it. We never have thought that that's very cool on the show. We love our game directors and developers because they provide so much stuff that we do like. That when we don't like stuff or don't agree with their thoughts, we try to write constructive feedback and maybe try to give our own thoughts. Sure. But
I've been fairly negative towards Blizzard this whole episode. I feel like with a lot of the comments.
No.
that
You've been fine. You've been playing
Well,
both sides of the fence.
Well,
I
but
think.
I'm saying
you have to
at
be.
the same time, I have great respect for the people that work on this game because
All right.
I know they work their asses off. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that if you're threatening them or just being nasty
horrible.
in really any way whatsoever,
Stop.
that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable.
Stop. Be
So,
nice.
Yeah.
Be
Anyway,
nice for crying out loud. You can be nice and you can be respectful, and you can we always promote CTR stands for community, respect, and teamwork. That's the three.
It does?
Yes, it does. So community,
Wait.
teamwork, respect. Those are the three things. CTR. That's
Yep.
our guild credo. That's also kind of the show credo, I think. So there. And fart
I thought
jokes.
it's different compared to raid.
Oh, it does. It does. It stands for multiple things.
But
It's
I can't. That's
It's-
too confusing.
right. It's
Oh,
It's all
my
good.
head hurts.
It's all good. That's going to be our. I know that a lot of people have done a lot of good things about this Azerite armor discussion, including Preach, including I can't even think of them all now, but there's been many different discussions on this. And I think
I'm sure Talius and Evitel said. I know Bellular also did a really good video on it.
just did one a couple of days ago. Yeah, saw that one. So yeah, just go.
All our UK friends that
That's right. All the UK hardcore friends. Yes,
that do the good news.
That's right. That's right. All right.
Yeah. It's interesting.
So we're gonna probably leave it there for now. We'll come back to it when it makes
Good
sense.
idea.
Yeah. But for now,
Or never.
we'll go to Overwatch real quick.
Oh, this is my jam.
Yep. So Overwatch, we have Legos.
Yes.
This is a thing now.
I mean, we knew that there was going to be Lego, but now we know that there's going to be Lego sets. And we don't know much more than that, but we got a teaser commercial this morning with Jeff playing with a little Tracer Lego, and then she comes to life, and he's like, "Whoa!" Yeah, I'm sorry, it was just really great.
I'm just watching the video of it right now without audio, and it's the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's
I know,
pretty,
right?
It's pretty rad. So
Yeah.
Why don't they use Jeff for every single promotion for because that's what you want to see, right? Like I don't need to see in-game stuff. I don't need to see anybody but Jeff. And if he says buy the Lego, I'm be like, give me the Lego.
Right.
Here's the money.
Right.
Jeff, absolutely. Please don't wrestle me to death.
Right. So there's that. And then the other thing for Overwatch is that Halloween Terror is coming back. It starts
Yes.
in a week.
Next week.
And I'm guessing
there's no new game modes this year.
No.
They said that they were gonna. Dr. Junkenstein's Revenge is probably like the best seasonal game mode in my
It's pretty
opinion.
cool.
Do you guys get kind of like when you watch Hocus Pocus or whatever you do on Halloween and you feel like it's Halloween now when I play Junkenstein's Revenge, it feels like Halloween to me, you know? And I noticed that during like, what was that event? It was like, I think it was like Overwatch's anniversary or something, when all of the game modes came back like in a roster.
Mhm.
When I got to play that like in the middle of springtime, I was like, ooh, it feels spooky and Halloween-y right now.
Right. Well, and I guess that that's going to be the only way that I'm going to know that it's it's Halloween time now, because now I'm in California, not in Minnesota. I'm in a pink studio. I don't know what darkness feels like unless maybe I play that game. So,
Yeah, probably.
So there's that. I don't know.
Oh, the Busan map came out while you were away.
Yeah.
There's tons and tons and tons of new updates on the PTR, including the new Torbjorn.
Right.
They completely changed him. They did like a Symmetra switcheroo type thing. It looks amazing.
I like that.
Which, by the way, speaking of Torbjorn, now with the whole Lego thing, we really can build them up and break them down. Oh, I stole that from Twitter.
That was
You're
not
welcome.
bad. It's still a groaner. It's I don't know.
I don't know. They always are.
Maybe it's just because you said it. I'm not sure.
It's probably what it is.
Right. Let's see. What else do we have? We have a little bit of Hearthstone news.
Well met.
So Hallow's End is going to be returning for Hearthstone, right?
Yes.
So that's a thing. And Shark, did you play much of Days of the Frozen Night?
I haven't
Or
played
Frozen Throne?
Days of the Frozen Nights.
Whatever.
Can we call it that?
I think they will at some point, because it's basically they took Knights of the Frozen Throne and then they just switched
Days of the Frozen Nights, and then Weekends of the Frozen Saturday.
Right, that would be great.
I don't know. I have not. Honestly, that was the only
game I could play.
Really need to. Well, you tell us about Hearthstone then.
That was the only game I could play on my phone. And I was like,
right.
I was so. Is it weird to say that I was kind of angry?
No,
I was kind of angry.
You're allowed to be. Why are you angry?
I felt not angry, but or maybe just disappointed, because I was like, Days of the Frozen Throne. It's kind of this throwback to the Knights of the Frozen Throne, and I didn't particularly dig it. I mean, I was just kind of like, ugh, this is no Boomsday Project. Boomsday Project felt new. It felt awesome. It felt really fun.
Yeah.
And this one felt kind of bleh. So it didn't really hit me.
You can't win them all, Pat.
No.
Yeah.
Nope, you can't.
But I need to get back into Hearthstone again. I've been thinking about it. And it's because it was my go-to mobile game. And it still really is. Okay. Even though I've been kind of into Pokemon Go again for some stupid reason. I don't know why.
Gotta catch them all, though.
Yeah. I've been directing a play right in a really historic part of town. And so I'm always like on break, like, oh, look at all the stuff. But anyway.
Is it like 1850s Pokemon that you're catching in a historic part of town?
Exactly.
That'd be awesome.
Like ancient Pokemon?
Right.
But yeah, Pokemon are attracted to culture, Pat. Didn't you know that?
Right.
Pokemon really is culture.
But anyway, yeah, I really do want to get back into the Hearthstone, because I've described it before as a perfect game, and I don't feel like they've changed the formula much at all. Like, it's still just a really good game to have around. So
sure.
I hope, and I do like Thyst was saying, like the Halloween feely stuff, like the Brewfest, Hallow's End, Halloween Terror. Like, it really does have that sort of sentimental, nostalgic feeling. You know?
And it's nice to feel as an adult when you hardly feel anything anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that got pretty dark.
How's ever spooky?
That got pretty dark. It feels like Halloween.
I still feel pain and sorrow.
Oh yeah, there's those. That's just a normal day, though.
And lots of regret.
Yes,
plenty of that.
Rage.
And rage. All right.
So much rage.
All right. All right. Well, to switch topics, maybe, I'm going to say one other thing before we get out of here, and it's about StarCraft 2.
I can dig that.
Actually, it's just about StarCraft, because StarCraft is actually coming out with a new comic for sale. It will be available in January of 2019, as opposed to January of 2018, which is past.
Thanks for clarifying, Pat.
But it will be StarCraft Soldiers, the number one issue comes out mid-January, so be looking for it.
I love Blizz Comics.
And right, it's just yet another alternate way to get your video game fix and
Your Blizz fix.
Yeah, your Blizz fix.
I'm wondering if
that's
this
what they should
isn't
call it. They should call it Blizz fix.
Blizz Fix.
Yeah.
New podcast title. Called it. New
Put
podcast
it in my veins.
Blizz fix.
Called it.
Yes, actually, that'll be the next iteration of Battlenet News. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Next iteration of
Cool.
CTR when we change
Next
everything.
time when we change the name, because we change the name every 4 years. So
right. You got to do it. Got to change it up.
Oh God, yeah. I'm wondering if this isn't going to be like a little bit of a bridge to, because StarCraft 2 has been out for a long time and ready for something new.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I'm actually a little surprised that it seems like Diablo's the one getting the news and not StarCraft as far as new stuff coming out. But who knows? Maybe there will be some cool StarCraft news.
Maybe
about
most of the StarCraft news is all esports. Really, I mean that's where the
and
really
that's how
cool
it
stuff
usually
is.
generally is. But
if you guys have been paying attention to the esports realm of things, I mean, because now they have StarCraft 2, and then they also have StarCraft 1 because that came out, that was remastered. So now StarCraft 1 is a thing
that's cool.
that's being played all over in South Korea, and just insane. And so that's kind of like the new thing this year for the esports side. It would be nice to have a StarCraft 3 maybe. But I don't think that they necessarily need it either. So they seem to be doing just fine. I don't know.
They really are.
That's true. I agree. I'm just saying, World of StarCraft would be a really cool thing.
World of StarCraft.
I agree.
I've been saying that for a long time. We're never going to see it, but yeah.
I think they should do.
Sure.
Seriously, I think. Okay, so my thought that I just came up with right now, they should make Blizzard World a game. And where you can play all of the different games within that game and still have it be an MMO. Wouldn't that be weird? It'd be, Gameception, pretty much.
I don't get it.
Where you could go through as an MMO player in Blizzard World, like in Overwatch, and then you can get points by playing all of the different games.
I saw a parody video once of the World of Warcraft where you play an avatar that is playing Warcraft.
Yeah, that was a.
I saw that. That was funny.
An Onion piece, wasn't it? Something
was it? Yeah.
I think so. That was that was a lot of fun. So, yes, coming soon, Blizzard World, the MMO, and when you play WoW in Blizzard World, it's an MMO within an MMO. It gets kind of trippy. Just letting you know.
I really don't like that, Pat. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, it'll make plenty of sense. It's just your life, but a video game.
Isn't that life as it is?
Right.
Yeah.
Patrick,
right.
You've experienced the IRL.
There are days where I
there.
feel like I start to see the world in pixels. I'm not going to lie.
And isn't it comforting?
Comforting and terrifying at the same time, actually.
Right.
It's all the same at these days, whatever.
All right, well, that's going to do it for the show.
Oh, man.
Nihilism.
Yeah, so I'm going to play the music and we'll get out of here. That was a lot of stuff, and we'll have more information as we approach BlizzCon, I'm sure. We'll have more information about 8.1. We'll have more information about Torbjorn pooping molten lava, and
He doesn't poop it.
He doesn't poop it?
He shoots it out of his hook hand.
Wait, he shoots poop?
No,
that is so gross. Why would he shoot poop? Why would he shoot poop at all?
Why don't you know, Patrick?
All right.
Patrick Poop Shooter Krane.
We're going to get out of here. A Poop Shooter Krane. That's me. So, guys, before we get out of here, why don't you let people know what's going on with your different shows and where they can find you and all that kind of stuff. Shark, we'll start with you. What's going on with Merely a Setback?
Yeah, if you want to hear what I think about all the spoilers we couldn't talk about on this show, you should check out Merely a Setback. It's a podcast about storytelling in the world of Warcraft. We record live on Monday nights at 9 Eastern on twitch.tv/Setback Podcast. You can check us out on Twitter at Setback Podcast, and you can also check me out on Twitter at Sharku_CTR.
Oh, that was
really
delightful. That was well spoken. That was great.
I've been practicing.
Well, you had a month. All right.
In the mirror.
Thyst, how about you? What's going on with you?
Duh. No, I'm just kidding. Hi, I'm Thyst of Lagging Balls. It's a podcast about Blizzard games, but it's got lots of swears and inappropriate jokes. So it's a lot like this show, except much, much worse. So you should check that out at laggingballs.com, and you can find me on Twitter at Thyst03.
There we go. And once again, we'll have Battlenet News again next week. We will have Battlenet Sports next week, I believe, as well, where we'll talk more about BlizzCon and about what we can expect as esports fans, just in general. I think that'll be fun. To talk about that, because it's been a while. I'm out of the loop on the esports thing. I really want to read up what's been going on because I have no idea.
Good luck.
No idea. Yeah. So that's gonna do it for this show. And how do I close out the show? I don't even know. Oh, you can contact me at Pat Krane on social medias, and that's with a K, as always. And now that music has ended, so I will play this. Okay, there we go. And I want to thank everybody for sticking with me this comeback show, because it's good to be back. It's good to be back, and I see that
It is good to be back.
I see the Twitch chat is going wild, and we have Dazzledorn gifting tier subs to everybody, and that's awesome. It's so, just a good time right now.
We missed you, Pat, so much.
I missed you guys.
I miss you every day.
I missed you
all the
guys.
time.
And please feel free, everybody, to join in on the conversations we're having anytime. You can join the Bazuba Guabo Nation by heading over to converttoraid.com. That's where we have all of our stuff. Our downloads, our Discord info, our videos, our audios, our swag store, our whatever. It's all over at converttoraid.com, along with the Convert to Raid podcast network that features these two guys and everybody else that's a regular on the show. So there we have it. That's going to do it for the show. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Twitch chat. And thank you guys, no matter where you're listening to us. We love that you're picking us up. And yeah.
Don't ever put us down.
Don't ever put us down. And we won't ever we don't like to put people down on this show. So don't put us down either.
Never going to run around or desert you.
Oh, boy. All right. And with that, we're out of here. We're going to go away. But until then, for all the guys that Convert to Raid, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
I need to stop screaming. It's midnight here, and I know that all my
It's midnight? That's so cute. Because it's only 8:30 here.
It's like 8:30 there.
Oh
Dude.
Which I'm so glad you're keeping the time at the same time, because you're like, we're going to have to go later. And no.
I cannot tell you how awake I am right now.
Yeah.
Because we
nice to do
started
the
at
show
7.
before dark.
We started at 7, guys. I'm like so thrilled because now I can, I don't know, maybe we can edit the show and then throw it up on the internets before I go to bed.
Literally at like 6 o'clock his time, Pat's like, what time is it? Do I have an hour until the show? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay. And then I didn't hear from him for an hour.
It's so lovely. I love it.
Probably running around the backyard.
It's great.
A whole hour.
Yep, a whole hour.